So exposition to the sunlight produces vitamin D, but few people know that this occurs only under very specific conditions. First, the vitamin D is produced in the epidermis under the skin when you expose yourself to UVB radiations. And we're going to explain what UVB radiations are. UV radiation is not visible to the human eye. However, you can see its effect when you expose yourself to the sun. You can see sometimes your skin getting a bit red if you expose yourself for a bit too long. And it can even create cancer if you really expose your skin too much to the sun, especially in the summer where it's really hot and when the sun is really high in the sky. So let's have a look at how this works. UV light is composed of three main groups of UV radiations from low to high energy. First, we have UVA, which is in the range 315 to 400 nanometer in wavelength. And this type of radiation is the one which has the lowest energy. And this can cause skin aging when you expose yourself to the sun. Then we have UVB in the range 280 to 315 nanometers. It has a little bit more energy, and this can cause skin redness and even cancer if you overexpose yourself. And then we have UVC, which is in the range 100 to 280 nanometers. This is the most energetic of the UV radiations. Actually, we don't really have to worry about it too much because it is absorbed by the ozone layer, so it doesn't actually even reach the surface of the Earth. Now, here is the catch. You can create vitamin D by exposing yourself to the sun, and especially, however, the amount of UVB produced by the sun is highly variable depending on the season and the latitude. This has to do with the orientation of the Earth with respect to the sun and how much of the sunlight is absorbed. And this varies greatly, clearly, with the seasons. As we all know, in winter in the northern hemisphere, for example, there is a lot less sunlight. This is because the sun is oriented differently. It is not high up in the sky, but it is more at the horizon. And so there is less light in general and less UV light which reaches the surface of the Earth. So this is very important to know because in the northern hemisphere, Europe, USA, Canada, Russia, etc., you don't actually produce vitamin D if you expose yourself to the sun in the winter month and also in a part of the fall and the spring. So it doesn't matter how much you expose yourself to the sun during this time of the year, you won't create vitamin D. All right? And here is a cool map that shows you the average amount of UVB per day produced in 1 year. Depending on where you live in the world, you get more or less UVB. So the red and yellow colors are the ones where you get the most UVB throughout the year, and the blue ones are the ones where you get the least UVB. So as you can see, if you live in Europe or in the USA or Canada, you actually get a lot less UVB than if you live close to the equator. And therefore, that's why it's important to know this and to supplement yourself with vitamin D, especially from the months where you cannot create vitamin D from exposing yourself to the sun.